Hey guys, Ningen here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today, just a kind of random one, a bit of a discussion video about the low class warrior category in Dokkan battle. So, the reason I was thinking about this recently is obviously the new Kid Goku came out, who is a very good unit. No one's really too hyped for him on global because he came out right before the 4-year, which is a real dick move there, Bandai. But he is here and he is in the category, and it got me thinking about the team. So we obviously have this Int Raditz, who is the only leader for this category. 4 key, HP and defense 40% and attack 80%. So obviously that's really bad. Now he is a free to play unit, but nowadays we're starting to see free-to-play units like the LR Goku and Arale that have 77% across the board. Now obviously that's 3% less attack, but the HP is kind of what we're interested in. Defense as well, I guess, because, you know, the lower this is, the harder it is for the units to actually do well in any of the events that have any level of difficulty. Now, this Raditz is actually a pretty decent unit. He gets a lot of stick, but he is a very good free-to-play AoE enemy. He's fully self-sufficient. He gives himself a nice buff when he's facing multiple enemies, which, of course, then just builds into his AoE super. And he's got fairly decent links for the kind of category that he's in. Obviously, he is in Pure Saiyans, which all low-class warriors will be. And then he is in Goku's family, which most of them, apart from Team Bardock, are. And Turles, I guess. So what we really need is a summonable leader for this category that has something like 150 and 170 across the board. So looking down, there are some very decent units. Like if we look at just the TURs, now obviously this would never be the best team in the game. Actually, if I bring up my overlay here, I've actually got, so this is the team that I can put together for low class warriors. Now obviously ideally we would want to replace the Bardock with LR Bardock, who unfortunately I don't have, who's the only LR on the category. And then just by going through each of the units on their own, obviously we'd have a different leader. Kid Goku we know is really good, active skill, very decent passive, very useful unit. The LR Bardock, while considered on the lower tier of the summonable LRs, is a very good unit. Turles, obviously one of the best units in the game. Sorry, one of the best support units in the game, I should clarify. He's definitely up there because of that. You'll even see him being run on teams where he doesn't really fit, just because his passive is so good. And then, of course, his transformation, while detrimental to his role as a support unit, he then dishes out ridiculous damage and tanks really well. Then we got the Ape Turles, probably the best Ape unit, considering we don't have the LR Great Ape Baby. Obviously links very well with this Turles. They give each other a ridiculous amount of attack and ki, and he's pretty common. I rainbowed him fairly early on, and then the Awakening for Tora made him a really good support unit as well, so we'd easily have these two as our floating support units. It's just the fact that we just don't have a high enough leader skill. So if we go back over, we can have a look and see. So we know the kind of characters that are in here. Nappa and Vegeta are obviously not low-class warriors, so none of them are in here. And Goku, basically from the point that he gained the Kaioken, is no longer considered a low-class warrior because there are no Kaioken Gokus in here. Only base form Gokus. And obviously the Kid Goku, but, you know, he is a base form Goku. So who have we got missing? So obviously one of the big ones, if they wanted to do a Dokkan Fest exclusive, would have to be a Goku, right? They'd have to have a base form Goku. Now I would argue that you could give him a transformation mechanic where he transforms and uses the Kaioken, because, you know, I don't see how base form Goku being a low class warrior and then suddenly the Kaioken makes him not a low class warrior. I thought, as far as like the lore for Dragon Ball goes, I mean, even though Vegeta considers Goku a lower class Saiyan than him, like pretty much once he becomes a Super Saiyan, you can kind of throw that low class warrior out of the window. But I feel like he could get a transformation with the Kaioken, because if he doesn't have that, like what else do you really give him? It's not like you could, I mean, he could transform into just a different art where he was still in base form, but I don't think that's a unit that people are going to get super excited about. And I think that is the problem with all of the units in this category. Like, Turles is really good. We don't want to replace Turles because we want that support on the team. So then you've got Raditz, who no one really cares about. We don't really care about replacing this guy. Like, if we got a new Raditz, that would be fine. But that's not something that people are going to be hyped about. None of the other members of Team Bardock are particularly... No one really cares. Like, I'm sure some people don't even remember what half of them are called most of the time. So Bardock would be an interesting choice. But, of course, if we have a base form Bardock, we lose access to the only LR that's in the category. So the suggestion that I was thinking, and obviously this is kind of the point of the discussion, I want to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. So I was thinking something along the lines of either a Dragon Ball Super Bardock, or maybe Dragon Ball Super Bardock and Ningen in the same card. It would be good to see a Ningen card in Dokkan, but I don't think they would make her like the summonable low-class warrior leader. From the little bit of information that we got from the Broly movie and the Dragon Ball Minus, which that part is seemingly based on, we know that Ningen is not a particularly combat proficient character, so we're not going to see her as like a summonable 150% leader for a category. Though I do think they could make a card for her and put her on the banner, like they do now, where, you know, they add like 2 new units and then those units go into the general pool afterwards. I feel like they could add her as like a support unit, maybe make her like a low class warrior or pure Saiyans, or like some combo of the 2 support unit. I think that would be pretty good. But yeah, I think if they gave us a Dragon Ball Super Bardock, but they, rather than doing what they did with Broly, where they just called him Super Saiyan Broly, which allowed us to use the old school legendary Super Saiyan Broly, but then of course we saw as soon as the new Tech LR one came out, there's conflict between the different Super Saiyan Brolys. So if they actually called him like Bardock brackets Super, or brackets Dragon Ball Super, something like that, because then they can get away with that naming mechanic, or like I say, just make it Bardock and Ningen in the same card. Because that gets around, because obviously if you've got him, you would want to be using the only LR on the category on that team. Or they could go for a full Team Bardock card. Now, a long time ago when the LR election was on, Team Bardock was one of the cards that was on there, and actually that's what I voted for, because you guys know I'm a big Bardock fan. Now that would ultimately be won by LR Vegito Blue, who we now have in the game. And as we've seen, they've gone on to make LRs for most of the options that were on that list. Now, this Bardock, he shows the rest of Team Bardock in his super attack animation, but they're obviously not part of the card. So you could argue that we could still have that as its own card, because obviously with a different name, they would still be able to be run on the same team. It'd be very interesting. I think the most number of units we've got in one card is 3 with the GT-LR trio, so it would be pretty funny seeing, like, is it all 6, like all the sprites together, which I figure is probably why they didn't do that, because that takes up a lot of real estate on the screen. But yeah, and yeah, no one else really is gonna qualify. Like I said, we don't want to replace Turles. We don't want to get. I mean, the awakenings for most of Team Bardock, they're okay. You're probably not going to run them on the team. You're probably going to have a build similar to what I showed off before. So we really are only looking at a new base form Goku, or some sort of Dragon Ball Super interpretation of Bardock and Ningen. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the matter. Nothing groundbreakingly important. It's just something I've been thinking of recently, considering that this Kid Goku is a new addition to the category. So let me know what you think. Let me know who you would like to see as the summonable leader, and then maybe this team could actually be useful for something. Because and like I said, it'd be nice if it wasn't a Raditz, because I think this free-to-play Raditz Rainbow on that team under a decent leader would actually be pretty decent. And who knows, with the way they've been giving love to free-to-play units, they could even celebrate that release of the summonable leader by giving this this Raditz an easy A, which would be pretty awesome. So let me know your comments down below, and I enjoy discussing it with you in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button if you found it interesting, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow my Twitch channel or join my Discord. The links are all in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.